Hi there folks, and welcome to another online maths tutorial from CD Masterworks Limited. So we've got another question from the expressions and functions unit. We're going to be looking at solving log equations today. So as per usual, we're going to split this up into three different differentiated levels. So we're going to start off with some really easy ones, and then hopefully by the end with all the brackets we're feeling a lot more comfortable having mastered the skill. So we're going to start off with what I like to call simple equations. So we're going to have to solve something like log to the base 2 of x equals 5. So the purpose of solving any equation, be it linear, quadratic, trigonometric or logarithm, the whole point of solving an equation is to find out the value of x. Now we solve log equations, we write them as exponentials. So we're going to learn the mantra, a logarithm is equal to the power you raise the base to get the number. So it's equal to the power. So the power is going to be 5. That's the power that we raise the base, so we're raising 2 to the power of 5 to get the number, which in this case is x. So what we do is we bring the base down, we make it 2, we then raise it to the power of 5, and we say that that equals x. So x is basically going to equal 2 to the power of 5, which is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, so x is going to equal 32. So our second example, log to the base x of 64 equals 3, this time the x is in place of the base. We still write it as an exponential, so we bring the base down, which is x, we put it to the power of 3, and we make it equal to the number, which is 64. So if x cubed is 64, we calculate x by cube rooting the 64, which gives us 4. And the third variation is where the power is x. So log to the base 5 of 125 equals x. So we bring the base down, 5, we make it to the power of x, and that equals 125. And the only way to really solve these ones is trial and error. So is it 0? No, because 5 to the power of 0 is 1. Is it 1? No, because 5 to the power of 1 is 5. Is it 2? 5 squared is 25, so it can't be. Is it 3? Well, 5 times 5 times 5 gives us 125, therefore x is going to equal 3. Okay, so here's a few for you to try. Gradually building up in difficulty. You might find some of the latter ones a bit more challenging, but let's give it a go. And if we're working on these at home, pause the video now. Okay, so you've unpaused the video. Let's go over some answers. So we have x equals 16, x equals 14, x equals 1000, x equals 57, x equals 81, x equals 10, x equals 7, x equals 3, x equals 2, and x equals a half. So let's crank this up a notch, we'll make it a wee bit more complicated. So this time we've got something like log to the base 3 of x plus 2 minus 2 log to the base 3 of 5 equals 2. So this is more typically something you would find in an exam. So the main key step process, all we've got to do is we've got to bring stuff up. So properties of logs, we can bring that 2 up to the top right of the 5 and make it a power. So that's just what we're going to do in the first line. So I've written exactly the same thing, but I brought the 2 up as a power. So we have log to the base 3 of x plus 2 minus log to the base 3 of 25, because 5 to the power of 2 is 25, and all of that equals 2. So once we've brought stuff up, we're going to combine the logs into a single term, and we can combine the logs because they've got the same base. So if you're adding logs, you multiply the two terms together. So if you're taking away logs, as you are in this case, we're going to divide the two terms. So that's going to give us log to the base 3 of x plus 2 all over 25 equals 2. And this is actually a very similar situation to what we met in bronze, where we've got a log, we've got a base, we've got a number, we've got a power. So what we're going to do is we're going to write it as an exponential, just as we did in bronze. So we bring the 3 down, we make it to the power of 2, and that's going to equal all that other stuff. So x plus 2 all over 25. Then the logs are over, and we just solve this equation the way we normally would. So 3 squared is 9, so that gives us 9 equals x plus 2 all over 25. We multiply the 9 and the 25 together, so that gives us x plus 2 equals 225. And to finish off, we just subtract 2 from both sides, so that gives us a final answer of x equals 223. So bring stuff up, combine the logs, write as an exponential. And in exactly the same way, here's a few for you to try. And remember, if you're taking logs away, you divide the terms. If you're adding logs, you multiply the terms together. So if you're working on these at home, pause the video now. Okay, you've unpaused the video, let's go over the answers. So we've got x equals 284, x equals 9, x equals 3 over 2, x equals 2 or minus 2, x equals 232, x equals 5333. Right, so let's turn these into hard exam questions. So this time we're going to look at multiple sets of brackets. So we've log to the base 2 of x minus 4 plus log to the base 2 of x plus 3, and all of that's going to equal 3. So what we do first is, seeing as there's nothing to bring up as a power, we're going to combine the logs. And as we said previously, if you add logs together, you're going to multiply the terms. So we're just going to put those two brackets together, giving us log to the base 2 of x minus 4x plus 3, all equals 3. And believe it or not, that's us back to the bronze situation again, where we have a base, we have a number, we have a power. So we're going to write this as an exponential. We bring the base down, which is 2, we make it to the power of 3, and all of that is going to equal x minus 4, x plus 3. So once we've done that and we've got it to this point, again, the higher maths is over, and it's now just a quadratic equation for us to solve. So 2 cubed is 8, and foiling out the bracket just gives us x squared minus x minus 12. Once we've done that, to finish off, we do the usual emergency exam strategy stuff. We're going to set it equal to 0 and factorise. So if you take the 8 away from the minus 12 and put in a wee common sense line, that gives you x squared minus x minus 20 equals 0. And then we've just got a trinomial to factorise. So bracket bracket, x and x, two numbers that multiply together to give us 20, which add together to give us minus 1. So that's going to give us x plus 4, x minus 5 equals 0. And all that's left to do is solve. So that gives us x equals minus 4 and x equals 5. So let's see how we got on with these 6. Combine the logs, write as an exponential, set equal to 0 and factorise. And if you're working on these at home, pause the video now. Okay, you've unpaused the video, let's go over the final set of answers. So we've got x equals 6 and minus 4, x equals minus 6 and 3, x equals minus 3 and 7, x equals minus 6 and 2, x equals minus 8 and 4, and last but not least, x equals 9 and minus 4. And that concludes our online tutorial for solving logarithmic equations. Hope you found this useful and stay tuned for the next one. Bye for now.